everybody, welcome back. Just a quick update. So we are going to be changing the channel name to Talk with Naya, just to add some uniqueness to the channel. So if you see that change, just know it's still us over here that used to be Talk That Talk. So let's get right into it with Nicki Minaj and Latto. We got a lot to talk about. Nicki Minaj and Latto get into it on Twitter last night. Okay, the two went back and forth, and it all started when Nicki Minaj shared that her submission for Super Freaky Girl to the Grammys went left. So Nicki Minaj submitted Super Freaky Girl to the Grammys for the rap category, and it came back that her song was switched to the pop category. This pissed off Nicki Minaj, and she went live explaining the situation. Let me play you the clip.
Because I know people like to twist my words. If Super Freaky Girl is pop, then so is Big Energy. If you move Super Freaky Girl out of pop and put it in, out of rap and put it in pop, do the same thing with Big Energy. Right? Same producers on both songs, by the way, if you want to talk about it. So let's keep shit fair. But I know one thing. Even when I'm rapping on a pop track, I still out rap. But this has to always be done because in order for them to, and this is a group of people, if you can't tell by now, you're not opening your eyes. If you can't tell by now that there is a concerted effort to give newer artists things that they really don't deserve over people who have been deserving for many years, then you're not paying attention. And soon female rap is going to be very, soon female rap will really not have any black women. If you pay attention, you'll see, you'll understand. There is an agenda because I am not signed to a 360. And for many years, there was a certain label that had to pay me non-stop for their features. So if we're going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. Right?
So Nicki Minaj believes that if they switch the Super Freaky Girl to pop, then Latto's song Big Energy needs to be switched to the pop category as well. Nicki said that the same producer was used on both songs. And even though she said that she's rapping in Super Freaky Girl, which we know, the Grammys need to be fair. If they're going to recategorize her song, other people's songs need to be recategorized as well. Now, she didn't just mention Latto's song as an example. She mentioned Doja Cat. She also talked about Drake and other people as well, Post Malone. So she is just using these people as examples for their songs to prove her point. Now, people throw out there that Ebro may have something to do with the Super Freaky Girl song being switched to the pop category, since he called Queen Mix more of a rappy song. And it basically seemed like his opinion of the original Super Freaky Girl song was more of a pop song, and he sits on the board. All right. So Latto sees all of this going on social media, and she tweets about not being able to celebrate. She clearly is talking about how Nicki Minaj is going off on social media and that this is taken away from her moment. But Nicki said that, she wasn't talking about Latto in a negative way, just that the Grammys need to be fair. And she used Latto's song as an example. So people also pulled tweets from Latto, with Latto herself calling Big Energy a pop record. People also shared that Anaconda was in the rap category and that Super Freaky Girl is similar sonically to Anaconda, and that MC Hammer's Super Freak was nominated for a rap category at the Grammys, and we all know Super Freaky Girl samples that song. However, this went bad really quickly because Nicki Minaj shared a DM between Latto and Nicki Minaj that happened, and she called her Karen, claiming that Latto has mentioned her in over 100 interviews waited in line for Pink Friday with her Barbie chain, but today Scratch Off decides to be silent rather than speak up for black women that she called her biggest inspiration. Okay? People also called out Nicki Minaj and said that at one point Nicki said that it's corny to share, DMs and personal messages that you're having with people. Now, Latto then responded and said, first off, I text you because I didn't want to do this internet-ish with someone I looked up to. Just like the first time I DM'd you asking about the subtweets. People actually called out Latto for agreeing with Nicki Minaj privately, but not saying anything publicly, and claimed that she went to Twitter looking for sympathy by saying she can't celebrate her achievements since Nicki posted that little screenshot of their messages and Latto saying she agrees with her. Latto then says, I've ignored countless subtweets since March and instead addressed it in the DM. You're asking why I didn't speak up in your defense. It's the same answer I gave you when you asked why I didn't congratulate you. You're literally older than my mom, trying to be a bully. Then she shows the most recent subtweet that she claims Nicki Minaj directed at her. The tweet says, unfollowed. Ugh, Barbs, I just said stop putting that dud on my timeline. I know you're defending me, but leave that dud on TikTok. Nicki Minaj replies to this and says, all this time I thought you was at least 35, after Latto called her a 40-year-old bully. Nicki also addressed the tweet and laughed and said, this was an actual person on TikTok, a creator, not even an artist. I'm sure the Barbs have receipts. It goes to show she made up these subtweets in her head simply because she sent me 2 songs I declined to do features on. Then the actual person that this tweet was about comes forward and explains that it was her and she got unfollowed by Nicki due to constantly posting about Nosy Ho, which is another creator who said foul things about Nicki Minaj and her child who Nicki was suing. So Nicki then talks about Latto looking like she's pushing 40 and that she only sold 20K in album sales. She basically said you in your 20s, right? And your album only sold 20K. And that Latto's mad that she flops. She also said who wants to hear reference tracks of scratch off ghostwriters rapping her bars, and claimed that Latto used her in every interview until that album sold double wood. Fans noticed that Latto's receipts are actually posts from messy fan pages and called out that she's believing narratives that fans are making up. Fans also said that Latto couldn't have believed that Nicki Minaj was subtweeting her since March, when it was shown that Latto posted a pic of herself in August using Nicki's lyrics as a caption, and they show clips of her showing love to Nicki during the VMAs. Latto responds and says, now all of a sudden you see all the love I showed you but decided to respond to a clip taken out of context, literally fishing for a reason to back up being a bully. So she posted tweets of Nicki Minaj saying what is who, and when you hear people comparing themselves to you but the facts don't seem to be in their favor. Now this was based off of an interview Latto did, and we talked about this before, where she said that at one point it was just Nicki Minaj in the female rap game, and now there's other rap girls in the rap game competing. So let me play you that clip back.
Rappers is thriving right now versus it being Nicki and everybody else. Now we all.
So Nicki then shows the DM where Latto asked for features a few times, and also shows that Latto asked her to be on the Big Energy remix. So she also shows when Latto said, what's up? I've shown you nothing but the utmost respect and genuine love as a fan and someone who looked up to you. Hate that you allowing people to convince you otherwise. You know what I meant. Nicki then says, hey, before I respond to this, what exactly are you talking about? I hollered when I read that, because if you look at this message, I wish Latto would have just been more clear and said exactly what she was talking about and just gave some more detail, because she kind of assumed that Nicki would know exactly what she was talking about, which you naturally do. But it's like, just add in a little more detail for us, mama, because what if somebody truly wasn't talking about you and something they said, then they really wouldn't know what you're talking about. But this whole situation was crazy. So Latto then posts a clip of Nicki Minaj talking on Queen Radio where she says that a person is trying to categorize themselves to someone who has been working for 20 years and their album flops. Let me play you that clip.
One day and the next day, you trying to categorize yourself with people who've been fucking working and putting their blood, sweat, and tears in this shit for 15 and 20 motherfucking years? And then that album come out and And you can clearly see you haven't built up a loyal fan base yet who actually likes your fucking music. And then what they start doing is they start digging the hole deeper for themselves.
So fans address Latto again, and they say that this clip wasn't about her either. It was about a rapper who was comparing themselves to big rappers like Lil Wayne. So this was a edited clip. It was shortened, so we didn't get the whole story or the whole conversation in this clip. Latto must have just seen this snippet and assumed that this is another sub against her. Latto then posts again saying that Nicki been subbing and super freaky grandma is married to effing rapist, my idol turned rival, and she'll die on this hill by herself. Everybody ain't lying on you. We see the pattern. Nicki responds and says, notice a pattern? You only get called old when you pass on their features. I ain't never dissed my idols for not giving features. I bowed to Lauryn Hill feet when I met her. Okay? And claims that Lauryn Hill is still out rap her. Latto claims that the feature was never the problem, and she never took offense to Nicki passing on multiple features. Nicki then addressed the rapist comment Latto made and said she wasn't caring about rape when she asked for features. She didn't care about Kodak's past. She didn't care about the accusations about Dr. Luke, who produced Big Energy, and that she's never raped anyone. She also said that she's trying to weaponize the word rape and that she doesn't care about rape victims in real life. So Nicki then exposes Latto's dad for being in his late 30s while Latto's mom was about 16 or 17 when they had Latto, and said, what does that make your parents? What does that make your father? So Latto then exposes the phone call that her and Nicki had, okay, because they got on the phone in the midst of all of these tweets. All right, let me play you the clip.
Yeah, you are. Something that is clearly delusional. It's delusional to say that other girls are flourishing. Something that's stupid and misinformed. I'm the one acting crazy. It's delusional to say that other girls are flourishing. Recognize we weren't giving the platforms that we're being given right now. And I give you props all the time in every other interview for opening the door for that to be a possibility now. Okay. So what, in conclusion, what do you think you wanna say about, let's let you finish your statement about what female rappers were doing before and what they're doing now. I want you to finish it. I finished it, Nicki. Okay. I said for a long time it was you. It was me. Yes, so your you didn't do your research. What it is? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have somebody send you the information about all the women in the last 10 years who have had Billboard recognition, worldwide global recognition, since you are clearly putting yourself above these people. No, I'm not. That's the purpose I can't even think of the word, like just purposely trying not to understand what I'm saying. You don't even understand what you're saying because no, I know exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it was you running shit for a long time. I never said that you're no longer running shit. I said for a long time. I never said that you're no longer running shit. I said that there are other females flourishing. What is the problem with that? The hard way. You're going to have to learn the real world and the industry. Well, I love you and I will, regardless, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to support you from the sidelines. I feel from the sidelines because I can't do it publicly when someone is literally subtweeting me for no reason, purposely trying to misinterpret what I'm saying. I respect you too much to go back and forth with you. So I appreciate you for getting on the phone with me. The song lyric was recorded last year, way before any of this. And I cannot, you said, because you just said I like to say it's given, though. The it's given bar was nothing, it didn't have nothing to do with you. And it's not going to benefit you. You understand? If people around you cared about you, they would have told you, that's not going to benefit you.
What's not going to benefit me?
Let me go. I have to do a Zoom. I'll hit you.
So, as we clearly can see, the two never came to an understanding on the phone. And Nicki agreed with a fan who noticed that Nicki was being very careful with her words during that phone conversation due to a possibility of a recording of their conversation. Lotto did record that conversation. But then what I also noticed is that Saucy Santana then posts on Twitter, "It be the delusion on the internet for me." And I think, Saucy, you need to stay out of this one, honey, because it was real quiet. Everybody was real quiet. I was saying, are we going to get some other subs from some other people on Twitter? Cardi going to hop on it? JT? Anybody else hopping in? It was quiet, just like it should be. Let these two battle it out. Let these two talk it out and figure out however they going to handle this. Nobody else should be jumping in. Saucy Santana, you was just praising Nicki like crazy after the VMAs. Okay? Don't hop in. Do not hop in. Now, this whole situation with Nicki Minaj and Lotto is a crazy one. And we all have realized as well. I don't know if you guys heard. But Nicki Minaj recently unfollowed Lotto. So apparently there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in them DMs with Lotto trying to address her like, what's up? You've been subbing me, okay? So that's probably why she got the unfollow. You know, so what do you guys think about this whole situation? I mean, Lotto, a lot of her fans were saying, yo, like, mention the rapist comments and in her. They were trying to coach her on how to come for Nicki Minaj with her responses. They were saying, yo, like, and Nicki Minaj's fans were like, yo, this subtweet wasn't about you. This was about a TikToker. This video clip wasn't even about you. This was about a convo with somebody else comparing themselves to Lil Wayne. Like, everything she had didn't fully hit the way it needed to hit. And people really pointed out a good point, because I think a lot of these other female rappers do this as well. They allow the fans' narrative to be the reality of the situation, and there's no clarity, there's no facts. You know, a lot of these female rappers have been subtweeting these past 4 to 8 weeks. There's been a lot of subtweets, and people are assuming. A Nicki Minaj fan basically put it in black and white that they be assuming who Nicki's talking about. They don't even really know sometimes. So Twitter is a dangerous game. Them subtweets is a dangerous game. And I don't know how this is going to play out, because we have clearly already seen the divide between Nicki Minaj and the newer rap girls. And now here it is, planted black and white in our faces. We had Cardi B first happen. Now we got Lotto. And these are the girls. I'm mentioning these two because these are the only ones that have went verbatim back and forth with Nicki Minaj with the ad. You know, Cardi B and Nicki got into a physical altercation. The other girls are just subbing, but they're not directly talking to each other like this. And I really think that this is just going to get worse. It's just going to be an even bigger divide. And I really don't think this is going to get any better. It's really sad to see, but there is no unity in female rap at this point. So I think that is over and done with, and we shall see how this plays out. That is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.